Let's take a look at this budget shotgun from JTS and see if it's worth what I paid for it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Big Ball Holding Company. And today, I'm going to be taking a look. I'm sorry, I got to get all this shit up. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at this budget-ass shotgun that I got from, I ain't going to say the name of the company right now, but, you know, you'll be able to figure it out. If you go look up the gun, you'll figure out where I got it from. Paid for it out of my pocket, so nothing was given to me. Just happened to stumble across it, and I was interested in it because it offered a unique feature. This is the JTS M12 PT1. Get it out of the box. Just to show clear. Gun is clear. This is a dual action shotgun, 12 gauge shotgun. It is designed to run in semi-automatic mode, or if you don't have a load that'll run in semi-automatic mode, it also runs in pump. And I thought that was pretty interesting, and I thought that was pretty cool because I always wanted a Spas 12, and the Spas 12 was also a dual action shotgun, and this kind of gave me that, I'm going to back up a little bit, this kind of gave me that Spas 12 look. I did some research on it before I bought it. No videos online except for like maybe one from the manufacturer, and a lot of people who were like on Reddit were saying this is the Spas at home, or the poor man's Spas, all those things. And I can tell you why, because this gun was ridiculously cheap. I can't say how much the gun costs because I think that somehow catches the algorithm and then doesn't push the video out. But go look this gun up. You're only going to find like one person selling it. There's two versions of it. This one is the more expensive one, and then there's one that is set up, which is the Series 2, which is set up more like a sporting class gun. It doesn't have any of the sights on it. It has a B front sight, but essentially it's still the same gun. Action still the same, pump still the same. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be a long ass video because I'm going to take this gun through some paces. And I will say that this is not my first time on the gun. I brought the gun out yesterday because I wanted to make sure that I understood how it functioned before I got out here and was stumbling over my words. Lost that. If I was stumbling over my words or trying to figure out how the action actually works, because I've never owned a dual action shotgun. I will admit it took me some time to kind of get over the learning curve at the table, reading the manual and figuring out how everything worked on the gun. So this may be either long-winded as hell, or I may be doing a part 2 for the actual shooting portion of the gun. So let's start off with the actual gun itself. I'll go through the features from muzzle to buttstock and tell you what it can do, or what features it has. We'll get it on the table real quick. I'll do a quick takedown just to see how it comes apart. We'll put it back together, and then we will get into how it actually functions and do some shooting with it. Because at the end of the day, even if it was extremely inexpensive, in my opinion, it's probably not worth it if the gun doesn't run. Build quality and all that stuff we'll get into as we progress through the video. So first off, let's take a quick look at the gun from muzzle to buttstock. This gun is a choked gun. It comes with, by the way, a full set of chokes. So nice add-on. I mean, these are, if I'm not mistaken, because I never had a shotgun that ran chokes before. It said that these will run with regular Remington chokes. I think these are Remington shotgun chokes. So if you don't use them in this gun, you can take them and give them to somebody who has a Remington that could take the choke. So don't know how these work. So that's another thing. I got to figure out how chokes work because I never really used them, never was interested in them. I just got a basic ass, home shotgun that doesn't use chokes. It's smooth bore. So I'll figure that out and get back to you guys. The barrel profile to me was the kind of odd, because I wasn't too fond of the fact that it went from this choked end down to this like narrow pencil barrel profile, and then it starts to taper back into the chamber and get thicker. I don't know, just aesthetics guy. I figured that I would probably want that to be all one diameter, but it don't look too bad. It actually looks like if I were to take this choke out, I could probably get somebody to port this and make this into a nice little muzzle brake. So overall length of the barrel, I think the overall length of the barrel was 19 1/4. I know it's longer than 19 inches, so a little bit longer than your standard shotgun. Capacity in the magazine tube, which is here, is 5. You can get 5 2 3/4 rounds in it, and it says that it will hold 4 3-inch rounds. So it is legal in all states, from what I understand, because it is a pump shotgun and it only takes 4 rounds. So it's not, you know, one of those shotguns that's going to not meet the requirements. Like in my state, yeah, we have a bullshit ass weapons ban that says that you can own a shotgun that has a magazine, or it's semi-automatic with a magazine, or has a, you know, expandable stock. It's like a assault weapons ban. So it's the typical assault weapon or assault shotgun shit. You can't own it, but I can own this shotgun because yes, it's a pump action shotgun and it meets the magazine and magazine capacity requirements. Walking back, you do get on this one, because this is, like I said, this is the tactical version. You get a shrouded front sight. It is shrouded and has like a AR-15 style front sight post in there, which matches up with a rear sight. This looks like to be polymer metal combined. It has a ghost ring, and it also has, I don't know if you can see that because I'm looking through my glasses, it has a ghost ring, and it also has a U-notch sight for, you know, shooting. You can take that off if you want, and you can run straight accessory rail. Put that back, I like the ghost ring. Runs a straight accessory rail, so you can put your optic on there and run it with an optic. Pump, the guard itself, that's one of the things I'll stop at when it comes to build quality. The shroud, I mean, sorry, the handguard itself, or the pump action handguard, whatever you want to call it, it feels a little bit plasticky. It's not as heavy as my Hot Sign, or it's not as heavy as my Charles Daly, but it suits the purpose. I mean, if it kept the cost down and that's all I need, I mean, I ain't gonna complain about it. But just looking at it, it looks like it's a lot thinner, like at least here. Like my Charles Daly and my Hot Sign, the plastic is like this thick, but this is a little bit thin. So when you tap on it here, it feels thin and plasticky, but again, fits the need. And then it has these accessory attachments here and here, which I'm not sure what they're for, because it didn't come with any accessories in the box that I know of that I could find. There were no accessories on the box to go with it. So this is for something. I just don't know what it's for. Working our way back, it does have a very large charging handle for the bolt. It has a semi-automatic bolt release here. It has a manual bolt release here, and then it has another, which we'll get into, another release here, which is for the carrying the shell carrier. Another release. 3 releases on this gun. It has a cross receiver safety, so you got to push it to activate the safety through the receiver, and not the one that kind of goes on the back like some other shotguns. And then you have a somewhat hollow, plasticky sounding buttstock, but it has a very cushiony foam butt pad on it, recoil pad on it, which also can be spaced out. I think there's already a spacer in here. I think it feels a little bit long for me, but if you got longer arms and this is not long enough for you, it also came with an additional spacer. Okay. Also, it has QD mounts all over the place. So it's got a QD mount here, and it also has a QD mount here. So if you want to sling it, you have the QD mounts already in place. And I think that is it for the gun from barrel to butt. Let's do a quick side scroll like that. All right, that's what it looks like. Oh yeah, also QD mount here. And again, stand back a little bit. Decent sized gun. Like I said, it's decent sized gun. And you know, I like the shorter guns. So now let's get into the action, because that's where, like I said, it took me a little bit of time to figure this damn gun out, because I personally, you know, never had a dual action and I don't know how they work, so I can't speak on it, but I personally wouldn't recommend this for anybody who maybe this is their first shotgun, because there is a lot that you got to know when you work this thing. It doesn't work like my Hot Sign semi-automatic, right? So maybe that's because this is a dual gun and it has to have the features that both a pump and a semi-automatic require. But there's a lot you have to do to work this gun, which again, is going to have a heavier learning curve. So normal shotgun, pump or semi-automatic, at least mine. Load the rounds in, bang, 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 bang. Rack it or pump it. Boom, 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 shoots, reload it, same deal, right? This, not the same. So you got some things that you got to know because it's dual action. One, if I want to run it in pump action mode, you have this lever here. And what that lever does is it pretty much, you turn it this way and it releases the pump, right? So now you have the ability to pump the gun. If you want to put it back in the semi-automatic, you just bring that away forward, turn it, let it go forward and lock it, and it locks the pump. So now it is in semi-automatic mode. Now, when you get back to actually working the gun, there's some things that you got to know. Now that it's in semi-automatic mode, now I still can't pull this back, right? doesn't release unless I use, which is typically the release on a pump action shotgun down here. And now I can work the action, right? But that's not it. Like, it has a last round bolt hold open, but let's just say there's a round in it and you want to maybe, I don't know, just get the bolt to hold back. Then you have on this side, you have a manual bolt hold open, which also works as a carriage hold open. So see how that carriage is kind of like hovering right in the center of the follower? That is for loading. It kind of locks in place once the gun is empty so that you can load it easier. It kind of like goes, it's down a little bit, right? And if that ain't down enough where you just want to push them off the carrier like that, you could actually lock that down by depressing the carrier all the way down like that, and then clicking your, where is it? Gotta find it. Oh, there it is. And then clicking your manual bolt hold open. So now your carrier is totally out of the way. Your fingers won't get caught between the carrier and the follower or the shells. And if you're wearing gloves, that can be a pain in the ass. But, and all you got to do is click that back, press that, and now it drops forward. But is it ready to run? No, it's not. Again, there's another little thing that you got to know to run this thing, which again, it took me a while to figure it out. Every other gun or shotgun that I've run, like, again, it's very simple. Load it, rack it, or pump it, and it's good to go. This one, after you load it, right, it, like, you can't run it because this carrier is still kind of like halfway hovering right there. So what you got to do now in that situation is, now you've got the gun loaded, gun's loaded, now you got to press this little button right here. Press this little button right here, and it'll drop that carrier out of the way. And when it drops that carrier out of the way, it will also release a round into the lower part of the receiver. And what I realized after shooting this gun is, like I said, with my other shotguns, when you shoot a round and you pump it, the pump action or the cycling of the bolt actually release another round in the chamber. Not on this gun. What releases another round into the lower part of this chamber to drop onto the carrier is the trigger, right? So if you don't pull the trigger, another round will not drop into the carrier or into the lower part of the receiver to be ready to lift up and go into the chamber. It's just a lot. That's like 3 different actions right there that took me a minute to get my head wrapped around because I wasn't used to how other shotguns work. So if you buy this gun, that's the extent, probably the minimum you're gonna have to know to get this gun to work and how all these little switches work together, right? Now, see that? It's locked. If you pull the trigger, you rack it, this will, I think, unlock itself. But for now, that's locked. I can't load the gun right now. And the only way that I can figure out right now how to load the gun is to do that. Well, is it that? No, actually, I think it's already, it's the squeeze trigger. So when I do that, say, oh, safety's on. Remember, we already checked the gun is safe. It's pointing down safe direction, though. When I do that, and it still isn't unlocked. So how the heck did I get this to unlock? Let's do it again. Oh, yeah, the only way to get that unlock is to send that bolt forward. Like, say it's on the last bolt hold, the last rounds we shot, and it's in the bolt hold open position. You do that, it will unlock this, and now you can reload it. I got to play with it. I got to see whether or not my reloads are going to be impacted by that, because I'm assuming that if the gun is back, I got to lower the bolt to be able to load the gun. Can I do that on the fly, like while I'm shooting? I don't know. We're going to figure that out. We're going to have to try that on the range and figure out whether or not that's going to be a problem. Because I know if I want to use this for like competition or something, now I can't even get the freaking rounds in there. Or if I'm in a self-defense situation where I'm holding down, I want to reload the gun, I don't know if I can get rounds in there. I don't. So I think that is it for this portion. We're at 13 minutes. I think it's been long enough. I'm going to get this set up and we're going to start doing some range shooting with it. I got a couple of different rounds here, and we'll talk through the types of ammunition that you could use, and you'll definitely see whether or not this gun works. All right. So to the next video. Talk to you later. Peace.
Gunman, baby.